Hare Krishna everyone, hope you had a lovely day. Welcome to Soma Vedic Astrology channel. Today we will discuss about the 8th house of a birth chart in Vedic astrology. The 8th house is the house of longevity and hence it is called as the Ayu Bhava. Let us see now what all things can we see from the 8th house. The first thing, as we discussed, is the longevity. Okay, 8th house doesn't represent your death, but it actually represent how what is your longevity, how long you can live, okay, how long your lifespan is. The next thing that we see is the transformative events in your life. Okay, now this transformative event can be with respect to anything. It can be with respect to your personality change, it can be with respect to money, maybe from rags to riches or riches to rags. It can be with respect to your lifestyle. Maybe you were a spendthrift and then you become very extravagant. It can be with respect to your health. Maybe you were healthy and then suddenly you come to know that you are having some incurable disease. It can be related to your wealth, it can be related to your friends, luck. So transformative event with any aspect of your life can be seen from the 8th house. Okay, sudden changes in your profession, even that can be seen from the 8th house. I guess you must have seen let's say some people who is there in let's say a fashion industry or a glamour based industry, and then suddenly some transformation happens in their life and they move towards the monk lifestyle, a priest, or a spiritual lifestyle. Or you must have already also seen some people who work in films, and then suddenly there is some transformation and then they move into politics. So basically sudden changes in either in the profession or just suddenly changing the entire industry of work. That can be seen from the 8th house. What does transformative events mean? Now these are certain events in your life which is beyond your control. You had not seen this events coming. I guess you must have seen life of some people where in the beginning everything was good, they were living some lavish lifestyle, they were in the top of their career. Everybody used to love them, praise them, respect them, and then one fine day suddenly some event happens and everything goes to shambles. They are back to square one. They lose the respect, they lose the wealth. So basically this is what you can term as a sudden event. There are certain events of permanent gains or losses in one's life, going back to zero at some point in life, and again starting from scratch. Now we understand, right, how difficult this situation can be. Okay, it is a very difficult situation to be in, where you feel you don't have any control left in your life, and you are forced to flow in a given designated path. Okay, whenever you lose the control of your life, it is definitely not an easy feeling. You start to wonder what is going on in my life, why am I not able to do what I want to do. So this kind of a sudden event definitely sometimes trigger lot of mental pain, anxiety. The pain which can literally you can feel as a death has come upon you. Maybe let's say a sudden event of breakup. So I hope understand the pain and the misery which is attached to this 8th house due to the sudden event, whatever sudden event which is coming into your life. Okay, but don't worry, because once you have this transformative experiences, you are for sure going to grow into a very strong person in life. Now whenever you get a transformative event in life, and then you have that phase where you are shedding of your past identity, and entering into a new identity. So the new identity can also be seen from the eighth house, which you get post your transformation. Now this new identity can be anything. Now let's say after childbirth, suddenly a woman becomes a mother. So a woman is getting a new identity of being a mother, which is going to be a permanent identity, correct? Because now that woman is going to be mother for the rest of her life. So permanent new identity attached to your self is seen from the eighth house. Okay, let's say somebody is changing their sexual orientation, gender change, or a person one fine day is deciding to secretly move to a new country, start a new life, taking a new identity. Okay, or sometimes because eighth house is a marka sthan for the seventh house of your spouse. Okay, so it can also shows the death of the spouse. So widowhood. So all these are certain tags which gets attached to a person for the rest of the life. So that is the reason new identity is also seen from the eighth house. Eighth house, it is a very tragedy filled house. It shows calamities, tragedies, explosions, underground things, crashes, accidents. Okay, situation such as where one person is doing some form of criminal things, maybe suicide, murder, theft, natural disaster. So any form of calamities, natural, man-made, all these things which is sudden in nature. Okay, you had not expected it coming by any sense. So all these type of miserable situations can be seen from the eighth house. Eighth house also shows the chronic illness that one can get, which is going to maybe sometimes last for until you are alive in this world. Till that time you might have some form of illness. So that can also be seen from the eighth house. Because i I hope now you must have got how dark the eighth house is. So that is the reason the your deepest fears of your mind, your phobias, anxiety, mental illnesses, depression, let's say lack of mental peace, psychological issues. So all this is also seen from the eighth house. Eighth house is the natural house of the Scorpio zodiac sign. Okay, so it shows deepest of your secrets, anything that is kept hidden from the public eye, secret societies, secret institutions, maybe terrorism, or hidden assets, maybe let's say black money which you're not paying to the rightful authority. So anything which is deep secret can be seen from the eighth house. Okay, now eighth house also shows the hidden knowledge. Okay, hidden secret knowledge, which is the occult knowledge, the knowledge of tantra, mantra, the kundalini awakening, astrology. Okay, healing. So any form of secret knowledge can be seen from the eighth house. Eighth house is a house where you can say the underground, where one has to dig deep. So in it can be taken as literally, or it can be also in the form of research, where you are digging deep in any particular topic. You are either researching about it, or you're creating and inventing your own researches. So that can be seen from the eighth house. Eighth house also means literal digging in the physical sense, where you are mining into the underground to find the underground items such as gemstones, coals, oils, gases. So all things, all objects which is found underground is seen from the eighth house. Since eighth house is, we can see the deepest darkest secrets in the eighth house. Scandals of all forms, can also be seen from the eighth house. Maybe, the hidden secret relationships, because eighth house is also the house which shows the physical act of love. So, scandal related to, let's say, sexual scandals, or, because eighth house also shows taxes. So, corruption scandals, money laundering scandals, okay, some hidden thing, finally getting exposed, or, defamation that one person has to face due to some taboo things which is not considered, normal into the society. Or, let's say, some extramarital affairs. So any form of scandal can be seen from the eighth house. The next thing that we see from the eighth house is, anything which is, mystery in nature, suspense. So forensic science, or, creating some new medicines, or helping to uncover the mystery, suspense. Okay, all this is coming from the eighth house. Now, from eighth house we can also see wealth, but it is, not the normal type of wealth that we can see. Let us see what type of wealth we can see from the eighth house. So the first segment is the wealth that you get when there is a loss to somebody else. So, okay, which means that loss of others becoming gain to you, that is a type of wealth that you can see from the eighth house. So for example, it is, let's say, the inheritance money that you are getting, or, the insurance money, or the divorce alimony, because there also you are, basically there is a loss of the relationship, there is a separation, and after that you are getting the divorce alimony. So all these type of money can be seen from the eighth house. The next segment is, it shows the wealth which you have earned, but, even after you have earned, it is not your money. So what is that? It is nothing but the taxes that you have to pay to the rightful authority in your country. Okay, so this is also seen. Apart from this, the next segment of wealth that we can see from the eighth house is the sudden, gain or loss of wealth is also seen from the eighth house. So where, in which areas can, normally a person gets a sudden wealth. So it is, either stock gains from the stock investments. Let's say, you had invested in some penny stock, and then it, after, let's say, 2 to 3 years, it is suddenly turning into a multi-bagger type of a situation. Or let's say winning a bet, or lucky draw, lottery gains, joint wealth of you and your spouse after you get married. So, okay, all these types of wealth is seen from the eighth house. The final type of wealth that we can see from the eighth houses now, this is the type of wealth which, nobody can take away from you. Okay, and that is what your experiences. Okay, the wisdom that you get from your experiences. Okay, the intellect and the wisdom that you are developing into your mind after seeing all this sudden transformative events, after facing all the losses. Okay, after experiencing all that pain, misery, mental anguish, mental restlessness. So after experiencing all that, ups and downs in your life, the wisdom is a wealth that you're getting in your life. Now that is something which, nobody can, snatch away from you. Okay, the how wisdom, basically helps your decision making, going ahead in life. The intellect or the natural abilities that you are born with, that is something nobody can take away from you. So this is also can be seen from the eighth house. Eighth house also shows your legacy. Now we all know that everybody doesn't have a legacy. Okay, legacy after death. Okay, only there are, few, countable people who are famous even after their death, famous or rather, infamous also we can consider. So how, basically you will be remembered after your death, whether you have contributed enough to society, that society, is remembering you after your death or not. Okay. So all these things, legacy related things is also seen from the eighth house. Eighth house also shows your in-laws, because eighth house is second from the seventh house. Okay. So second house is basically what? Immediate family. So immediate family of your spouse, because seventh house is the house of spouse. So immediate family of your spouse is who? They are your in-laws. So eighth house also shows your in-laws. Now, eighth house, the natural zodiac sign of the eighth house is Scorpio. Scorpio is, a water sign. Okay. And it is also ninth from 12. So it can show, traveling in the water bodies to go somewhere. Now let us see the people associated with the eighth house. So they are your dad's grandparents, your in-laws, okay, any type of a criminal, a killer or thief, then spy, detective, undercover agents, insurance agent, tax collectors, chartered accountants, customs officials, surgeons, doctors who treat some form of incurable diseases or a new disease, then researchers, forensic experts, scientists, magicians, people who dig undergrounds, then astrologers, hypnosis, reiki healers, therapists, psychologists. Now let us see the people associated with the eighth house. So eighth house, I hope you must have understood, is kind of a a natural disaster kind of a place. So any place where this natural disaster is happening, that can be seen. Then disaster control, crisis management rooms, disaster control rooms, water bodies, private rooms, because it is a house of deepest secrets, places of hiding. Okay. Now who will hide, we all know, right? Then secret organizations, government restricted areas, rooms where a child is born, where a transformative event, basically place where a transformative event is happening, surgery rooms, research labs, restricted and private healing centers. Okay. Places where you are getting to know about your future, undergrounds, or any form of openings, holes, etc. Now let us see the career related to the eighth house. So okay, working, a person who is working into underground related work or metal business, mining of coals, ores, gemstones, oil and gas sectors, engineers, researchers, then manufacturing industry, working in the insurance industry, working in the tax department of the government or customs department, chartered accountant, working in the fields of occult science or astrology or tarot, any of the mystical science related industry, working in the field of secret services, secret organizations. It can be now, underworld, or the opposite of it, which is the detective agencies. Now working in the field of treatment of mental illnesses, working as a doctor who is expert, who is a specialist with regards to the sexual organs, then work in high risk fields where your life is exposed to a lot of threat, working in a taboo field which is generally not normally accepted by the society where you are living in, profession which does not get respect in the eyes of the people of the society. Now let us see which body parts are associated with the eighth house. So they are your sexual organs, private parts, okay, ovaries, prostate gland, external genitalia, seminal, rectum. Now let us see the relation of 8th house with the other houses of the chart in Vedic astrology. 8th house is second from the 7th house. So 7th house is the house of marriage, spouse, legal partnerships, and second house, is the house of accumulation. Second house is also a Marak house. Again, 7th house is also a Marak house. So second from seventh basically shows the sustenance of marriage, whether it is going to turn into an event of divorce or not. Second from seventh also shows, death related events of your spouse. It also, now second house is also shows the accumulated wealth. So the joint accumulated wealth of you and your spouse is also seen from the eighth house. Okay, second house also shows immediate family. So second from seventh, which means immediate family of your spouse, which is your in-laws. So all these things can be seen from the eighth house. Now eighth house is third from the sixth house. Sixth house is the house of maternal uncle, and third house shows communications, okay, risk taking ability, courage. So third from sixth shows the communication style of your maternal uncle, the risks and courage, which your maternal uncle is taking in his life. Sixth house also shows the debts, okay, and third house is, the efforts, the courage, the risk taking ability. So how much efforts are you putting to clear off your debts? That can also be seen from the eighth house. Now eighth house is fourth from the fifth house. So fourth house shows comforts, happiness, material, comforts, mother. And fifth house is the house of children, especially your first child. So fourth from fifth shows, the happiness of your children, the comforts and the luxuries, or the early childhood, how good your early childhood of your children is. Okay, real estate, vehicles of your children. Eighth house is fifth from the fourth house. Fourth house is the house of mother, and fifth house is the house of purva punya, past life blessings. So fifth from fourth shows the past life blessings of your mother. Eighth house is sixth from the third house. Third house is the house of siblings, and sixth house shows deaths, diseases, enemies. So sixth from third shows the deaths, diseases, enemies, and the life of younger siblings. And eighth house is seventh from the second house. So second house shows wealth that you have accumulated, and eighth house, is opposite, or seven places away from the second house, which, and because second house shows your wealth, okay, eighth house shows other people's wealth, or you can also consider it as a partner's wealth. Eighth house is ninth from the 12th house. So eighth house is the Moksha Bhava, and 12th house is also the Moksha Bhava, and nine house is a house of luck and fortune. So okay, it helps you to move towards the spiritual path. It also shows, the loss in your mental peace, legacy. Eighth house is 10th from the 11th house. Now 11th house is the house of elder siblings, and 10th house is the house of career. So 10th from 12th shows, the name and fame, the reputation, the career of your elder sibling. Eighth house is 11th from the 10th house. So 11th house is the house of gains, and 10th house is the house of career, name, fame, reputation. So 10th from 11th shows the sudden gains or losses in your career, maybe, job loss, or sudden gain, let's say, such as gratuity, promotion, okay, or vice versa. It can also show, money loss, or income loss, job loss, or a new job change, or absolute change in the career path, or change in the industry itself. So all these things can be seen from the eighth house. Now eighth house is 12th from the ninth house. Ninth house is the house of luck and fortune, and 12th house is the house of loss. So 12th from ninth shows the loss of your luck, and that is the reason you're getting a transformative event here. Okay, now 12th from ninth also shows loss of your moral values, loss of ethics, loss of your principles, loss of your spirituality and religious beliefs. Okay, ignoring the lessons of your father or your teachers. So all this can be seen from the eighth house. Now let us see some terminologies which is attached to the eighth house. The first terminology is Dusthana house. So house number 6, 8 and 12 are called as the Dusthana house. So I think till now you must have understood that eighth house shows all the kinds of sorrows, sufferings, misery, that is also in very sudden in nature. So all these transformative events due to which eighth house becomes part of the Dusthana house. The next terminology attached to the eighth house is PanaPhara houses. So house number 2, 5, 8 and 11, these are the houses which are immediate next to the Kendra houses, which is 1, 4, 7, 10. So the PanaPhara houses usually are the houses which is associated with money, power and associations. So, as per the scriptures, Kendra houses are more powerful and PanaPhara houses are less powerful compared to the Kendra houses. Now, every house in the birth chart is associated with some form of Purushartha. So, eighth house is the house which is part of the Moksha Purushartha. Okay, out of Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So house number 4, 8 and 12 are called as the Moksha Trikon, and 8th house is part of that. So this Moksha Trikon houses leads us to the path of spirituality. Moksha Trikon and Kalpurush Kundli is usually attached with the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. Fourth house basically shows a certain type of trigger in your environment at the later part of the life, which is moving to you towards the path of spirituality. Eighth house basically is giving you a sudden transformative or a death like situation, regeneration, rebirth kind of a situation, which is inspiring you to become more spiritual in life, because you are understanding that nothing is in your control. And it is basically then later you're moving towards the path of moksha. And 12th house is also the house of suffering and self undoing, which is again triggering you to follow a spiritual path. I hope you guys must have liked the video. Please do not forget to subscribe the channel. Also, please do let me know in the comment section below what more videos would you like to see. Thank you.